reelected, and 2 new board members that we welcome to our team. So if the 4 of you could come up to the front.
Change my mind.
Different. I guess this is the back. Say the side. Can you come to the side?
All right. Lindsay, your turn. Raise your right hand. I state your name.
I, Lindsay Cotter,
Do solemnly affirm
do solemnly affirm
that I will support
that I will support
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of this state,
and the Constitution of this state,
and that I will faithfully
and I will faithfully
discharge the duties
discharge the duties
of the office
of the office
of member of the Board of Education
of member of the Board of Education
of Huron Valley School District,
of Huron Valley School District,
Oakland and Livingston Counties,
and of Oakland and Livingston Counties,
Michigan,
Michigan,
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Great job.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Amy, you get to hear this 3 more times. Raise your right hand. I state your name.
I, Amy Grzymkowski,
Do solemnly affirm
do solemnly affirm
that I will support
that I will support
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of this state,
and the Constitution of this state,
and that I will faithfully
and that I will faithfully
discharge the duties
discharge the duties
of the office
of the office
of member of the Board of Education
of member of the Board of Education
of Huron Valley School District,
of Huron Valley School District,
Oakland and Livingston Counties,
Oakland and Livingston Counties,
Michigan,
Michigan,
according to the best of my abilities.
according to the best of my abilities.
Congratulations. Michelle? I state your name.
I, Michelle Ryan,
Do solemnly affirm
do solemnly affirm
that I will support
that I will support
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of this state,
and the Constitution of the state,
and that I will faithfully discharge
and that I will faithfully discharge
the duties of the office
the duties of the office
of the member of the Board of
of
Education
member of the Board of Education
of Huron Valley School District,
of Huron Valley School District,
Oakland and Livingston Counties,
Oakland and Livingston Counties,
Michigan,
Michigan,
according to the best of my abilities.
according to the best of my abilities.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Jacob, raise your right hand, please. I state your name.
I, Jacob Dimick,
Do solemnly affirm
do solemnly affirm
that I will support
that I will support
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of this state,
and the Constitution of this state,
and that I will faithfully discharge
and that I will faithfully discharge
the duties of the office
the duties of the office
of member of the Board of Education
of member of Board of Education
of Huron Valley School District,
of Huron Valley School District,
Oakland and Livingston County,
Oakland and Livingston County,
Michigan,
Michigan,
according to the best of my abilities.
according to the best of my abilities.
Congratulations. Mrs. Pisani, we have a roll call, please?
Absolutely, Mr. Wiseman. Ms. Grzymkowski.
Here.
Ms. Dodd.
Here.
Mr. Dimick.
Here.
I myself am here. Ms. Ryan.
Here.
Ms. Cotter.
Here.
And Mr. Wiseman.
Here.
Present and accounted for.
Thank you very much. We all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Could I have a motion to approve the agenda as presented? So moved by
Support.
Ms. Pisana and supported by Mrs. Dodd. We have a roll call, please?
I'm a yes. Ms. Dodd.
Yes.
Ms. Cotter.
Yes.
Ms. Grzymkowski.
Yes.
Ms. Ryan,
Yes.
Mr. Dimick,
Yes.
and Mr. Wiseman.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Communications and report, items from the Board President. The only thing that I really have to present today is just a thank you to my fellow board members. Today, we had an opportunity this afternoon to participate in a Michigan Association School Board presentation as it related to working as an effective governance team. I appreciate and respect the time that you gave to not only this team, but the entire community. I felt that it was very worthwhile, and we'll continue having the dialogue so that we can continue being that effective team for the community, for our students, and our staff. So thank you very much. Recognitions. Dr. Salah.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd like to turn it over to Ms. Roethler this evening to do our recognitions.
Good evening. As a longtime resident of Huron Valley, I know I should not be surprised when people in this community do what people in this community do to help others in need. But sometimes yet, year after year, I'm amazed when I hear of incredible stories. There are so many individuals and groups that consistently set the bar high, especially with our own families within the Huron Valley School District. Our social workers a couple weeks ago informed me of a very special person who has gone above and beyond. Tonight, one of those school social workers, Kim Zalay, is here to tell us about this individual, and School Board Vice President Laura Dodd will award them with tonight's Huron Valley Schools Hero Award. Kim?
Kim has multiplied. So it's Kim and Cheryl that were both old school social workers, been in the district a long time. So thank you for giving us a few minutes. Hi, Lindsay. We're here to talk about Captain Steve Henneman. We all know people who help, are willing to help, who may donate money, people who are willing to give of their time. However, Captain Steve Henneman, you have been doing this for the Valley for over 10 years running. Captain Henneman has made it his personal goal that every child in Huron Valley would have a good coat to keep them warm in the winter.
I remember back in like 2011, 2012. Thank you. He made it his mission in the late fall. He went to every school. He worked with all the social workers. He got his list developed. He made a goal that he was going to fulfill. He started participating in this in the early year with the tree lighting in November and began a huge push for the coat drive during that same time. That year, Steve was able to get, 1,000 coats, hats, snow pants, boots, anything that we needed. He worked with owners. He found empty spaces. He hung lights on empty buildings so he can see in the dark. He worked without heat. He organized the thousands of coats. He even acquired racks to put the coats on by size. And we did not have a size. 7 or 8 seemed to be the popular size back then. He worked with local businesses for that special price. He got us whatever we needed. Afterwards, he spent countless hours of his own fulfilling each list and dropped them off to the schools. During this time, he typically would find a family when he dropped off the coats that still needed help during the holidays. He found it upon himself to find gift certificates, toys, whatever was needed to make sure that holiday was special for kids. And here we are, 10 years later, and Captain Henneman has not skipped a beat. He's still at our doors and sending emails every November asking for that special list. This is just one thing that Captain Henneman has done. He's touched so many of our lives. Another example, a few months ago, I had a little boy, had a house fire, and he was afraid to go to sleep. Captain Henneman not only contacted the family, met with this little guy, he went to their home, he installed new fire detectors, even though they had just been replaced, and showed him how they worked. That time he spent with the family was life-changing for them.
Thank you, Captain Henneman. What makes you a hero in our eyes is just seeing the needs of our families and going above and beyond year after year to get the job done.
Captain Henneman, can you come on up here?
All right. to do the good stuff here. So you have, I'm going to do this because I know otherwise I'm going to see Rose, done your absolute best to inspire and build futures, literally one student at a time, which is what we all strive for every day. And to have a community filled with people like you, who you're setting a role model for future generations and showing our community how important it is to see a need and fulfill it. And we appreciate that from the bottom of our hearts. So we have a nice little certificate for you, and also a coin with academics, athletics, and arts. But then, of course, on the back, it talks about that inspiring and building futures one student at a time. And we really appreciate everything you've done.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks so much. Congratulations.
That concludes our recognitions this evening, Mr. President. Would you like me to move on?
Yes, please.
Thank you. So this evening, we have the proud principal from Oak Valley Middle School, Miss Shawn Durso, with us. And Oak Valley Middle School is here this evening to share some of the wonderful things that's happening at her school. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Salah. I am the proud principal of Oak Valley Middle School, and our motto is belong, believe, and become. And we put that into practice each and every day. And I think I couldn't start on a better note, except to tell you that today I'm going to talk about the Parent Mentor Program. And I would ask if everyone in the audience who is either currently or past involved with the Parent Mentor Program, would you please stand? You guys too. Ms. Pastana. Thank you so much. We'll get back to you guys in a minute, but I'm really excited that probably half the audience is Oak Valley family who has come out to say, yeah, this is awesome and we love it and we're here. So let me tell you about our Parent Mentor Program. I looked back, and as far back as I could see, it goes back about 15 years. And I believe that we were the first middle school to implement the Parent Mentor Program. And it is today, the reason I mention that is because today it is still strong and active and a vital part of what we're doing every day. Now, surprise, but this month, maybe not a surprise. Next slide, please. It is National Mentoring Month. January is National Mentoring Month, so it seemed quite logical and nice that we could put this into place. So, Mrs. Santina Marshall, please stand. Mrs. Marshall is our Spanish teacher and teacher extraordinaire over at Oak Valley, and she heads up our Parent Mentor Program this year, along with Mrs. Dungan, who is also a mentor. Please stand. And keeps everybody organized and instructed and informed and everybody where they're supposed to be. And that's not an easy piece, but I appreciate you both for keeping all of that going. They also do some of the recruiting. And Kelly actually, I think, goes door to door in her neighborhood, quite honestly, and gets people. So thank you so much. The Parent Mentor Program for us is all about connections. And so our parent mentors provide another trusted adult that kids can go to. And sometimes the nice part is they're not a trusted adult who is like, we need to get the A, we need to study, sometimes they're just somebody to play a game with or hang out with, or just to have somebody to help them, as one of the students said, and I'll share with you in a few minutes, is just to help me calm down and see what's coming next. So they also provide consistency for students. They come into the building and they meet with our students on a weekly basis. Their encouragement and their connection. I can't think of a more important thing for each of our kids to know, except that the community outside of our doors are there.
and they care about the kids, and it matters what we're doing matters to our community. And that parent mentor program says that to our kids over and over and over. And it offers an opportunity for fun and communication. And they've recently been working on a lot of escape room type things. So they've been actually having quite a bit of fun. Here's a few pictures of some of our mentors getting a little bit of training, and then some of our kiddos with their mentors as well. So we know what the mentors bring to our students, but what do our students bring to our mentors? And again, the mentees provide that connection. We're a community school. We're in the neighborhood. Everybody knows where we're located, kind of thing. And sometimes once your kids are out of there, you just drive by. You just drive by the sign. You might look a little wistful as you go by us. But sometimes, like Mr. Gilmer, we drag you back. After those kids are graduated from Lakeland High School, we pull you back into Oak Valley. And again, it just keeps that community going and those relationships going. It provides our mentors an opportunity to share their insights and their interests. I will use Mr. Gilmer again, who recently set up a whole trip for some of our pre-engineering kids to visit an engineering firm in Ann Arbor. And he bought them lunch too. Thank you very much, Mr. Gilmer. But his ability to share his interest, his insights with our students as they grow. Purpose and appreciation. I hope they know how much we appreciate them. We do some things throughout the year to express our appreciation. And they get the opportunity for fun and communication as well. So what do? Mentors do a number of different things, and it depends on the day, and it depends on the mood, and it depends on the kid, and they're very, very flexible. So sometimes they'll read together. They might do homework. Sometimes they just chat. They'll play games. One of the big pieces, and you'll hear this from our students, is getting organized. How do we get organized? How do I figure out what direction I'm headed in? Sometimes they'll just eat lunch together. They'll brainstorm. They'll celebrate. They think, they learn, they investigate. They do all of these things together in a short amount of time, but a lot of things get done and a lot of things happen during that time. We currently have 11 mentors. We have 12 mentees, and I can tell you that that equals success for our students. So what happens when a parent mentor becomes involved with our kids? One of the things we see is improved grades almost across the board. These are actual quotes from former mentees. All 6 grades improved, made the honor roll for the first time ever. Best grades I've ever had. My grade point average went up 1.5 points. The statistics are clear that it's successful, and the kids feel so accomplished and so proud of what they can do. We also see improved attendance. Sometimes, as you can see one of there, improved by 75%. And a lot of it has to do with, when is my mentor coming in? When am I going to see my mentor? When am I going to have that meeting? They don't want to miss. They don't want to miss, and they don't want to have to tell their mentor that they're so far behind because they missed 3 days this week, or they weren't in school at all last week. So we definitely see an improvement in attendance. So I asked some of the current kiddos, what's it like to have a parent mentor at Oak Valley? And I heard things like, I have another adult to help me. My grades are up. My mentor is so kind. He helps me to stay calm. And I'm a big believer that it will mean more for you to hear from some actual students than to hear me quote them. So allow me to invite, come on up, Mr. Noah Grades and Mr. Carson Mrazek, 8th graders who are currently in the mentor program, and they have a few things that they would like to say about their mentors.
Hello, everyone. I'm Noah Grades from Oak Valley Middle School. Mentoring has been a huge help to me over many categories. For example, it's been a huge, ginormous academic help. My grades are improving, less missing assignments. My grade point average last year was not good. This year, it's improved at least a point. My missing assignments have majorly decreased. That was a big problem for me last year. Another big category is improved behavior. Last year and the beginning of this year was not the greatest. And she kind of reminds me also of my consequences, of things that maybe will be held back from if I do these bad things. The last thing that I have is my organization was very poor before. And now that I have my mentor, like for example, the first day that we didn't start mentoring, she helped me organize my locker, organize my binder, get my assignments in. And also just overall, it's just been a huge help. Thank you guys.
Hi, I'm Carson Morozic, and what I like to say today about the Parent Mentor Program is how kind the mentors are to me and how good my grades have been up ever since I started this mentor program. And I've never done one of these. So this is the first time I've done it, and I'm just so happy I actually signed up for this. It helped my grades out tremendously, and I'm so happy I joined this. And I just have so much fun doing this with them, and I learned so much. Thank you.
I do want to mention that Carson is new to Oak Valley this year, and he mentioned to me earlier that his mentor has really helped him to feel at home and to make new friends. And he's had an opportunity to kind of talk through that uncomfortable coming into a new school thing with his mentor, which has been very, very helpful for them. Thank you guys for coming up and talking to us today. We appreciate that. We celebrate our mentors throughout the year. We have some different events that we celebrate them and spend some time just having some fun all together. And one of the things that we do is, you saw some of the signs there. We'll make signs for our mentors and post those around as well. So once again, I would like to ask our mentors to please stand. And thank you so much for coming this evening. These are some of our current mentors. Mrs. Kelly Dungan, Mr. Dan Gilmer, Mr. Peterson, Mrs. Saylor, Mrs. Phillips. Thank you so much for coming this evening and helping every student at Oak Valley to feel that they belong with us. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Any questions or comments from board members? Yes, Ms. Grzynkowski.
To Carson and Noah, I would just say, well done. It is not easy to get up in front of others and speak. You were very eloquent, and I really appreciated what you had to say. Thank you.
Any other comments? Yes, Ms. Pastana.
So I just want to say thank you to Mrs. Durso, Kelly Dugan, and Santina Marshall. You guys are the heart and soul of this mentor program. I've been involved a lot of years, and I always say I get more than I give. It's just such a good program, but you guys keep us organized and tell us what to do and know the right kids that we become involved with. And so a really heartfelt thanks to you ladies.
Thank you. Carson and Noah, outstanding job presenting the program to us, for us to get to know you a little bit better. I just want to thank all the parent mentors for their participation. I think it's, once again, really drives home the point how important our entire community is to the education of our students. That it's not just the classroom teacher, but it's the entire community embracing our students as one to get the most out of our students and to provide quality opportunities for them. I think it also really displays how important it is for our students to have those strong relationships and those significant others, because you never know where that significant other is and what impact that person has on each and every one of our students. So once again, my respect for all the work that you're doing on behalf of our students. And Carson and Noah, once again, outstanding work. When I was in middle school, I certainly could not get up and speak as well as you did. So congratulations, and looking for big things from each of you into the future. A little pressure there. Thank you. Okay, superintendent's comments.
Thank you, Mr. Wiseman. Mr. President, thank you. I have a few items this evening. You can leave if you need to. Don't be bashful. First and foremost, I want to start on somewhat of a somber note and just pass along my sincerest condolences to the family of Miss Janet Buchanan. Miss Buchanan, longtime teacher at White Lake Middle School, as well as the Huron Valley School District, taught in the arts, had a significant, far-reaching impact on students. I had an opportunity to visit at the funeral home last week, and I just can't tell you how many staff members and how many students I bumped into who spoke about the legacy of Miss Buchanan, what she invested into them, and her willingness. The thing that really jumped out at me was her willingness to seek out the student who wasn't necessarily what you would expect from every student. And I think that just speaks volumes about her character. And truly, she will be missed. So to the family, I just would pass along my sincerest condolences, and our hearts and thoughts and prayers are with you. So with that, on a less somber note, I just want to wish everybody a happy New Year. I hope our students and our staff and our community had a wonderful holiday with family and friends, and brought in the New Year with style. This year brings a lot of new beginnings. Congratulations to Jacob and Amy and Michelle and Ms. Cotter. Ms. Cotter, I forget you were reelected because I'm so used to seeing you sit there. So congratulations to our newest board members, as well as those who are remaining with us. I would echo Mr. Wiseman's sentiments. I also had an opportunity, along with the entire COAT team, to spend 4 hours of our day with the entire board and engage in some professional learning through the Michigan Association of School Boards, talking about board governance, roles and responsibilities of superintendent and board members. I thought it was a really productive professional learning, and I'm just grateful to the entire board for the willingness to sit down and process through those things. Also, this evening, it's my honor and privilege to give a shout out to our very own Mr. Steve Chizik. Received a notification from the Michigan Elementary and Middle School Principals Association that Mr. Chizik has received the 2022 MEMSA Region Honors Award for Region 7, which is sort of like an Administrator of the Year for our region by this particular organization. It's a big deal. And I just want to give Mr. Chizik a shout out. He was recognized at the last Michigan Elementary and Middle School Principals Association's conference that they had recently. So congratulations to Mr. Chizik. And I think last but not least, I would just want to continue to keep at the forefront of our minds as a school districts the importance of school safety and security. As a school community, we've really doubled down on the importance of ensuring that all of our practices, our professional development for staff, and our procedures are solid, that are in place, and that are aligned with best practices to ensure that our students and our staff are as safe as humanly possible. We've been fortunate in this last year that the state legislature allocated some pretty significant resources to local school districts to help support with safety and security initiatives. And so we've used those dollars in a number of strategic ways. One, we've hired some private security to begin with, but we've most recently added a relationship that we have with Elite K9, which is an entity that actually provides a support dog for us that has the ability to detect munitions that could be in any one of our buildings. So we use Rosie. She's our beloved canine who is present on a rotating basis randomly in our secondary buildings. She's primarily focused to the high schools, but we will send Rosie to the middle schools when we feel it's necessary and appropriate. We've just seen a lot of really positive reaction to Rosie and her involvement in the school district. And recently, we've gotten a lot of nice positive press coverage as well. Fox 2 News ran a report not too long ago. This morning, WDIV also ran a segment. And I want to just show that segment from WDIV just to give the board and our listening audience and community a flavor of what Rosie's work looks like within the Huron Valley schools. So I'm going to cue that up. If we could dim the lights. Thank you, Fred.
Normal bomb sniffing dog, and that's saying something.
This morning, we're introducing you to Rosie, who is paws down the most popular pooch in school. As Nick Monticelli shows us, she has more than one job as well.
Let's find it.
Canine Rosie works in the Huron Valley District High Schools, detecting weapons and explosives.
Rosie is trained to detect over 24 explosives. She's already got something. Yes, that's good dog. Good girl. Yeah, good girl. What we have here is bullet casings.
This was a training exercise inside Milford High School.
When she gets on the source, she'll snap her head and stare at me and just sit. Instead of scratching or biting like some police dogs would do. We don't want that with explosives. We don't want to touch that. Check.
Rosie is part of a team from Elite Detection Canine, which the district hired to build the layered approach to security.
Rosie, turn. Check.
There's no one size solution. It's everything combined that creates an environment of safety and security for students and for staff.
It's the reality these students now live in. But Milford's principal says reality does not have to be intimidating.
Kids have to live through that every day, and I think that part of it lessens it for them to know that there's other security measures in place.
So now you know that Rosie helps with security. She is an extra layer of protection, and the kids feel it. They will tell you they feel it. But she's also dual purpose because she can also help with mental health. On their way into school, Rosie is there, yes, sniffing for trouble. But the kids get to ignore her do not pet vest. Because her second job is about their mental and emotional well-being.
When she's been here with us, I mean, you kind of see that positivity piece as soon as a kid sees Rosie. You know, it puts a smile on their face.
Great.
The students will tell you the stress of being a teenager is daunting, especially living in today's world where threats and violence are reality. So Rosie can identify a threat if there is one, or she can find a student who needs to smile.
Although there have been threats and stuff in the past, she makes me almost feel a little bit safer.
For me personally, I kind of think of it more as like a therapy and emotional support dog, but it still does make me feel like the school is more secure and safe, that she does know how to do those kind of things.
Yeah, that girl. Come on.
She's a dual-purpose canine.
Rosie's everyone's best friend.
Working two equally important jobs.
We got to find different ways to help people, and it's about being a human being and taking care of one another.
Oh, thank you, sweetie. Thank you.
You're welcome.
In Milford, Nick Monticelli, Local 4.
You have dreams. No matter how big or how small, your financial credit union is here to help. Whether it's a new car, a new home, saving for your child.
So it's not hard to love Rosie, and both students and staff appreciate Rosie's presence in our buildings. Fox 2 did a really nice a segment as well. If you haven't had a chance to check that out, I would encourage you to visit their website. A couple things more just to share about Rosie. So Rosie costs the school district about $85,000 annually. Her handler is a Milford resident. He is retired local law enforcement. So having that additional retired police presence is nice to have. But there's the very real aspect of the continued cost of these sorts of initiatives. Our listening audience probably isn't aware, but we pay about $80,000 for each additional private security that we have as well. So in total, you're right there, you're about $240,000. And we received roughly $830,000 in safety and security money this year. But note, that has to be spent by the end of this school year. We can't carry that money over. It's one of those restrictions that were established by the state of Michigan. And so here's my ask of the community, and certainly this is something for our board to be aware of. We need to continue to lobby on behalf of local school districts in public education to ask for continued safety and security resources. There is a heightened focus and a greater need than we've ever had before, and we need the resources to continue to pay for these things. So that's my ask. I'd love to see programs like the one with Rosie and private security and those kinds of things to continue beyond this school year. And that's something that we can all do today. That's something we can all do right now, is to advocate with the legislature and our local policymakers and the governor's office to continue to provide those ancillary resources so that we can continue programs like this. But one thing I would ask you to do is ask them to eliminate what's the word I'm looking for here? What's the word I'm looking for here? Yeah. Whatever, you know what I mean. So we need to eliminate the restrictions. That's the word I'm looking for, to spend them within a current school year. We need unlimited time to be able to expend these dollars in a way that's best and appropriate, and not just expending the dollars to expend the dollars. So with that, Mr. President, that concludes my superintendent comments. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So your comments are, we need that additional help from our community and to advocate, because these types of programs are not sustainable, or hard choices have to be made by administration and by the Board of Education as it relates to dollars that are available for direct instruction for our students.
Yes, that's absolutely correct.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. We're just back in session, so I'm not sure that if we have any student leadership.
We do not have student leadership this evening.
Okay. Look forward to them being part of our board meeting at the future board meetings once school's in session. Association communication. Mrs. Hollander.
Good evening. I hope everyone had a joyful holiday season and a happy new year. On behalf of the HVEA, I would like to welcome Ms. Ryan and Mr. Dimmick to our board. The HVEA and the Board of Education have a long history of a positive and productive partnership, and I look forward to continuing this important tradition to benefit our Huron Valley students, families, and staff in the coming years. As Dr. Salah mentioned, our hearts are filled with sadness in the Valley as we absorb the loss of our colleague, Janet Buchanan. Janet bravely fought a cancer diagnosis over the past year, and even through her treatments and pain, her robust spirit and contagious laughter shone through each day. As the art teacher at White Lake Middle School, Janet was a caring, compassionate soul who brightened everyone's days, both with her colorful artwork and her positive outlook on life. Teaching was a second career for Janet. She graduated from Wayne State University with a bachelor's degree in fine arts and worked a variety of jobs, including in advertising and at the Paint Creek Center for the Arts. However, after many long-term guest assignments at Heritage Elementary, Principal Frank Bateman convinced Janet that she was a born teacher and encouraged her to go back to school. So Janet continued on at Wayne State and received her master's in teaching in 2008. After 2 years teaching art part-time at Lakeland High School, Janet joined the White Lake staff in 2010, and the staff at White Lake is eternally grateful. When hearing about Janet, there are common phrases that are expressed over and over. She had the biggest heart, lived life to the fullest, was always laughing, and could talk a mile a minute. As a teacher, Janet welcomed everyone into her art room. She was especially known for supporting our special education students and their unique needs. She empowered them, loved on them, and had a magical way of helping them be the best versions of themselves. Janet's art students created stunning artwork because she set high expectations and then supported them through the process, empowering them to find their creativity. Her students came to school each day because of their relationship with her. They would say, I can miss other classes, but I can't miss my time with Mrs. Buchanan. Janet was the best kind of colleague to have at your side. She was funny, brought humor at just the right moment, and was the brightest star in any room she was in. Janet was always fully committed to White Lake and would do anything to support her school, even shaving her head one year to help out with the fundraiser. Janet worked hard to make all the new staff feel welcome, and she could tell when you were having a rough day, and she would come into your room just to check on you and to see how she could help. Laughter echoed the halls of White Lake whenever Janet was around. Darcy LaRue, White Lake teacher, shared, Janet had the biggest heart of anyone I know. She loved and lived life to the fullest. She was loyal and a best friend and the most passionate and caring teacher. There was always laughing and smiling when she was around. Outside of school, Janet was loved by her husband, 4 children, all Milford High School grads, and her precious 7-month-old granddaughter, Winifred, who was the light of her life. To be loved by Janet meant you were loved fiercely and completely. She was passionate about gardening, hanging out at her college, enjoying time on the boat, and hitting all of the garage sales and thrift stores within 50 miles of wherever she was at the time. She talked and made friends with everyone wherever she went. When Janet saw someone in need, both inside and outside of school, she would do anything she could do to help. She was an incredible giving spirit, was always thinking of others, and wanted to make sure everyone had what they needed. This message of being there for others is instilled in her family and the staff at White Lake. Continuing to support others in need will be part of Janet's legacy. Heather Fitzpatrick, White Lake teacher, reflects that the solid presence of someone you can always count on is gone. Janet was one of a kind and irreplaceable. She was adored by all staff and students, and we are all left with millions of colorful memories of Janet's incredible impact upon all of us. To our White Lake staff, students, and family, we will be holding you close to our hearts over the next few weeks. And Janet, you will be greatly missed for your love of the arts, your passion for supporting all students, your contagious spirit and energy that we were so fortunate to have filled our Huron Valley world for many years. Thank you.
Thank you. Board Correspondence Secretary.
Only correspondence I have, Mr. Wiseman, is I had the opportunity to attend Janet's visitation as representative of the board, and we will be sending a card and our condolences to her family.
Thank you. Much appreciated. Treasurer's report.
The new treasurer has no report tonight. Thank you.
Reports from board committee. First one is the executive committee. We have not met over the holidays, but we do have one planned for Friday, January 20th. I would like to, and I know the rest of the board has this, but I'd like to announce to the public the revised standing board committees. We have 4 standing board committees that meet on a regular basis. We have new board members, and they've been assigned to various committees. The executive committee now consists of myself as co-chair, along with Laura Dodd and Denise Pastana, and the alternate is Lindsay Cotter. Teaching, Learning, and Technology, the chair is Denise Pastana, along with Lindsay Cotter and Jacob Dimmick, and the alternate is Laura Dodd. Finance and Operations, that has not changed, except now Lindsay is the chair. I'm continue to be a member along with Amy, continue to be a member, and Denise Pastana continues to be the alternate. And under Marketing and Communications, Laura Dodd is the chair, Amy Grzynkowski is a member, and Michelle Ryan is a member, and I am the alternate. With that, TLT committee.
TLT has not met. Our next meeting is January 20th at 9:30 in the morning.
Thank you. Finance and Operations.
No, we have not met over the holiday, but we will be meeting on Wednesday of...
Next Wednesday.
Yeah, next Wednesday.
18th.
At 9:30.
Thank you, Lindsay.
I forgot.
And Communications and Marketing?
Yes, our next meeting is scheduled for a week from Tuesday, the 17th at 3 in the afternoon.
Thank you very much. At this point in time, we have two areas within the agenda for public comment. The first public comment area revolves around those items that are subject to a vote tonight. Lori, do we have any comments tonight? Okay, so with that, we'll go to the consent agenda. Consent agenda only has one exhibit. That's the approval of the minutes from the last board meeting. Do I have a recommendation to accept that consent agenda?
I move that the Board of Education approve the consent agenda items A1 as presented.
I'll support that.
Okay, moved by Member Dodd, supported by Member Cotter. Have a roll call, please.
Yes. Ms. Dodd?
Yes.
Ms. Cotter?
Yes.
I'm a yes. Ms. Ryan?
Yes.
Mr. Dimick?
Yes.
Ms. Grisomkowski?
Yes.
And Mr. Wiseman?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Next is unfinished business. We do not have any unfinished business listed. Followed by new business. We do not have any new business listed. At this point in time, we have opportunity for public comments as it relates to non-agenda items. Lori, do we have any public comments? Is there any public comments that anyone would like to make in the audience? Pardon me?
They're on their way in.
Have they just stepped out or? Oh. We'll wait a few moments. All right. We'll defer public comments for a moment. Good and welfare. Anyone having good and welfare?
Good and welfare.
Yes.
Well, first of all, I want to say thank you for the Christmas holiday baskets from the administration office. And Lori Hill, I know you coordinated that, so thank you. I always enjoy that as a board member. I want to say congratulations to the new board members as well as the returning board members. And the other is a thank you to Mr. Wiseman for stepping into the presidency once again. We're happy to have you lead us.
Thank you. Any other good and welfare? Yes, Ms. Cotter.
Yes, I just wanted to take this opportunity because she's done so much for our board. I'd like to wish a happy birthday today to Mrs. Pastana because she's been kind of working all day on her birthday. So just congratulations to Denise tonight.
Are you going to lead us in song?
No, that's not my.
Any other good and welfare? I do one item. I just, as a reminder to our community, one of the things that makes our community very special is that the celebration of Martin Luther King Day and the activities that surround that. There's a number of activities going on that really culminates into two areas. One is the March on Main Street, which is on Sunday, January 15th at 1 o'clock. The lineup is at 12:30, and it's certainly open to anyone that wants to participate. And then the other outreach is on January 16th, which is the Soup Meal Food Drive. There's information out on the website as it relates to that. And they're looking for various collections to make that the soup. And that's also listed out on their website. And our own Mr. Perry has been the chairperson for this for a number of years. So just want to remind people of that activity coming up this Sunday. Yes, Mr. Dimick.
I just wanted to take this moment to thank Dr. Salah and yourself for and everybody else here with helping us get into the role as a new board member. There's quite a bit of learning, and everybody's been exceptionally helpful. Miss Lori Hill has been amazing to work with, so I just want to say thank you to everybody for letting us, getting us up to speed so quickly.
Thank you very much. It's certainly a a collective team approach, and we welcome you and Michelle to our board, and look forward to meeting the many opportunities and challenges that we have in front of us. And I know that we will be extraordinarily effective as we focus on what's best for our students and our staff. So I hesitate because you say there's some young people. They're feeling nervous. Well, maybe another time, or maybe Dr. Slaa and I could go out and meet with them individually to hear from them. Would that be acceptable? I think that's the best if they're nervous. Oh, okay, we'll come out after the meeting's adjourned and have a meeting, and then maybe at a future date, we might make them a little more at ease, and maybe they'll come back. We look forward to hearing from them. Yes, ma'am. Yes, you could. If you could state your name and address and the school district which you reside in.
I'm Melissa Lakeland. I live at 1676 Mead Lane Court in White Lake, Michigan. I just want to ask the board to consider to keep the community forums going that were started in the past. As a parent, I really appreciated them. I know that parents that can't always come to the board meetings appreciate being able to go to a community school, one of the middle schools, and talk to people and ask questions in a smaller type of forum. Really important. It's really important to me. I hope you guys consider it to keep it going in the future.
I appreciate those
Thank
comments.
you so much.
Yep. I think one of the pieces too, as it relates to the public comments, that I do want to share with everyone is when comments are made, it's not a time for us to have conversations, but it is also a time for us to listen, to hear, and if there is a matter that can be addressed, I turn that over to Dr. Slaa, and then Dr. Slaa and his staff work through that, communicate where appropriate, and we circle back. So I don't want anyone to think that when there's comments that are being made, they're not being heard and they're not being addressed, but it's really not a time for us to have a conversation. So, but I just want to make that a point that that's something that we always do, and we will continue doing that. So with that, if there's no other comments or questions, this meeting's adjourned.